Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. I don't know how my subscriber count on my channel keeps growing. I feel like I'm having the most terrible videos, including one where I thought that Power Maze had a battle cry rather than a death rattle. Making some silly mistakes like killing my opponent's death rattles before playing Little Exorcist. Oh god, just terrible things. So thank you guys for sticking with those mistakes and continuing to watch the channel. Here we're playing a terribly drafted deck. And hopefully it's just gonna lose soon. I'll bitch about it a little bit. You know the drill. Then start a new run and have greener, greater times. All right, let's see what we got going on. Actually, yesterday I played some Hearthstone with my girlfriend, like on the same computer. We took her priest deck, added some Goblins versus Gnome cards to it, won a bunch of games in a row, finished a 60 gold quest. It was just grand, jolly old times. You know what? Fuck this slam. I'm just gonna look for my minions because I desperately need them. There's so many cards in this deck, spells. I'm not too worried about while getting that slam, honestly. Not even the greatest early game spell to begin with. Gotta say, you know what? Official verdict on this sheep, don't like it. Yeah, don't like it. I've had good synergies with it in some cases, and even then I still don't like it. It's just so difficult to use. And yeah, you can say like, oh, well, you know, it's a board clear that you wouldn't have otherwise, but it's just like really unreliable to the point where I would actually rather just have like a regular 2-mana minion a lot of the time. Like if this were just like a random 2/3 for 2, I'd be happier with it right now. So I don't know, don't like the sheep very much. I would take it, but only if it's a mediocre pack. All right, the wolf is you know, making me regret that this is not the +1 health thing. Can I do anything about it? Nope. Just gonna trade my panda for her wolf. I mean, I'm glad she didn't get to use the wolf later. And there's a chance I can actually buff this thing up and, you know, hit harder. Nope, she's just going to ping it. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I think, is... Oh, jeez, this is so annoying. Oh, man, that's just the icing on the cake here. I really wish that hadn't been there. So I could actually play the Enhanso Mechano as a 3/2 for 4, and then this might get a Divine Shield. Wind Fury would suck, Taunt would suck, so that sucks. Okay, we're going to slam this thing, I think. And, oh, Spellbreaker would have been perfect. Oh my god, I could have gotten a 4/3 onto the table. Ouch. Well, you live and you learn. So anyway, this is really bad. I got these conditional minions. Spellbreaker needed to really show up a turn earlier. The spare part kind of sucks. Oh, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. Alright, so Cleave really desperately fails against this board. Sheep also fails because it just she can just ping it and both creatures would actually live. So I'm going to silence one of these things. The question is which one? Probably the Snow Chugger. Whirling Blade still doesn't do anything for me. Boy, it's looking bad. Crush is not the most helpful thing here. She's just gonna keep on pinging. Get rid of that. Play the bear. So Cleave still doesn't work. Oh, spell damage would have been nice here. Okay. Cruel Taskmaster plus Cleave will kill off one of them. Might as well, I'm really not doing anything else. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I guess kill the, you know, enraged thing. And that's a wrap. Okay, this is bad. I got this, which is useless, this, which is useless. This doesn't do anything, because I don't have very many minions, and this is very bad if you don't have very many minions. I think this is a really good card, but it just doesn't really shine in this deck, particularly, because I have such a problem with minions. I probably should have taken something different, though I can't remember what was available besides this thing. This thing cannot get crushed, unfortunately. So we have a definite problem here. Clockwork, Gnome, Sheep. Oh, jeez, this just doesn't look good at all. Okay, we'll play this. Only Divine Shield would help that guy. Got Wind Fury, which is not right. The Divine Shield on this is okay, though. That's cool. Armor up, pass a turn. I don't know really how I'm supposed to get out of this. I've dealt no damage. She has a perfectly fine number of cards. A big minion. Sheep's totally useless. Little Exorcist gets the buff because of my Clockwork Gnome. I can crush it, I guess. But, crap. So he kills that. Whirling Blades doesn't quite do it. Nah, there's Whirling Blades for you. Alright, let's do this. Kill that off. Regrettably, I am a damage shy of being able to kill this thing. I could have hit it into the Spectral Knight so that the sheep would have finished it off. That might have been smarter. Well, oops. What did we get this time? Ah, good old stealth. Well, I could put the sheep in stealth, I suppose. Alright, well, if one of these is a mirror entity, I could copy the sheep, which would be amusing. Let's see if that is the case. Okay, it is. Do I need to put the sheep into stealth? I don't think so. But I'll do it anyway, whatever. Oh my god, it's actually a spellbender. Well played. So the spellbender gets all stealthy and my sheep is just out in the open. Although, we could have a comical thing here, because if she kills my sheep, then her sheep will die, so it'll deal 4 damage across the board, actually. Which would kill off both of her minions. But then I still don't have anything good. She has 4 cards to my 2. And I've dealt no damage, so I can't burn her out or anything. She has another secret. Probably a duplicate, I'm guessing. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of secrets. Holy ballsack Christ. Lots of secrets over here for this woman. I think I want her to duplicate the sheep. That seems like the most useless thing for her to have. I don't know. So let's run that in. Everything dies. She should get 2 copies of the sheep, right? Right? I really hope so. Okay, let's do this to check for mirror entity number 2. Nope. Do that. Okay. Well. So we know it's not a mirror entity. It could still be spellbender, counterspell, or that stuff. Can't be duplicate because it was on at the same time as duplicate. So that leaves ice armor and vaporize, which is a problem because you can kill my gnome, and then if this is vaporize, I just lose my Wraith Assassin, which is pretty bad. Plus 1 health. There go the sheep. Alrighty, let's think about this. So if I hit a sheep, I will die, but if I play armor plating on it, I can hit a sheep, both sheep will pop, and this thing will actually live. But then she can just ping it to death. So what I think I actually need to do is armor up. And I'll put an armor plating on this to check for counterspell and spellbender. Okay, it's not that, so it's ice armor or vaporize or ice block. And I'm actually gonna pass the turn here. So my plan is I'm gonna wait to see if I can get a removal spell for one of these sheep. Because we're in a bit of a standstill now. If she plays anything with 4 health or less, it's just gonna die if these sheep were to pop. And I just want some time to draw some cards. Oh god. Well, I cannot get a spell to save my life. I could actually crush one of the sheep. That would leave this with 2 health. Actually, wait a minute. What am I talking about? Alright, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Pop all the sheep. Thanks to that epic armor plating, I get to keep him. Keep this guy alive. And then I'll just panda him back. Check for mirror entity, although I don't think it can be a mirror entity anymore. We're going to replay him now. Epic Panda heals. Alright, now I'm actually okay. So she's got a secret, which is a vaporizer, ice armor probably, although ice block is always a potential. She has 5 cards to my 4. I can crush anything if I need to. This is a pretty good card. That's fine. And put a copy of each friendly minion into your hand. Wow, I've never seen that before. That's a pretty cool card. Alright, so Arcanite Reaper it is, huh? Do I want to crush this thing? She's holding on to 2 of these. Oh, wait, she has an ooze in her hand now, so Arcanite Reaper would be a pretty silly thing to play. Oh, man. Alright, we gotta check for... I just can't stomach losing this guy to vaporize. So I'm gonna just keep this thing hidden and check for vaporize with my panda. It is vaporize. Okay, so that's good to know. I could Arcanite Reaper to kill that, but then of course she would just kill it. She keeps saying whoops. I don't know why, but I'm kind of sick of hearing it. You know, I don't think I'm going to get any extra value out of this assassin, so I'm just going to hit her in the face. And do I want to crush this Scarlet Crusader? It's a bold strategy because if she plays something bigger later on, I could be in a lot of trouble. Alright, I'm going to do it. Crush that thing. Pass the turn. She's got a Scarlet Crusader, an Ooze, and 3 other cards. She needs 1 damage to be able to kill this assassin with the help of the Ooze. Or a Fireball. Fireball will also do just nicely. Spectral Knight is pretty good because it doesn't die to Arcanite Reaper. Oh, fuck. Spectral Knight. Heroic Strike. Well, that will kill this thing, but then she's just going to ooze my Arcanite Reaper away. Let's see. I can do this in Heroic Strike to hit her for 9 damage down to 12. Could I really burn her out? I could if she weren't holding on to an ooze. Fuck me sideways. Okay, well, let's do this. Now she's going to play the ooze, kill the Arcanite Reaper. I actually don't know how I'm going to win this game. I don't have enough juice at all in the slightest. So there's the ooze. There's the Crusader. There's yet another secret. This was not a good deck. That was way too many secrets. And I've still seen no secret synergy like Nomad Scientists or Kirin Tor Mages. Just too many secrets. You know what? We're done. I got nothing for this. And I choose death. Okay, so that is that. 3 wins, I think, is 3 more than that deck deserved, honestly. Such crap. Abusive Sergeant was just terrible throughout, but in fairness to the person who loves the Abusive Sergeant, I didn't really have a great deck for optimizing him because I didn't have too many minions, and when you have a lack of minions, buffing cards are at their worst. Crap, I think I already have 2 Shrinkmeisters. Not sure though. Let's take a look at the pack. Boink! Oh man, I definitely have enough Cobra shots. We got a Golden Power Mace and a Recycle, which are pretty decent rares. Let's see what's new and what's not. So 2 new commons. I guess the Shrinkmeister was new. I'm just curious if I have any... Oh, it's my first Crackle and my first Power Mace. Okay, so I'm not going to disenchant that golden one. Okay, on to the next run. Hopefully I'll do better this time. Priest, Druid, Hunter. I think I need a Priest run, actually, because I've only played Priest twice. Yeah, so let's go ahead and grab Priest. Alright, Kodo or Knife Juggler. Both are good. I'm actually going to take the Kodo. I think it's helpful nowadays. Lots of good stuff to hit with that. Let's grab the Silence, because Silence is really good. Holy Nova. These are both really good cards, but I don't think you can pass on Holy Nova as a Priest. You get a Legendary. Hey! Okay, this guy I think is pretty terrible. Lothab's always solid, and what's this? Whenever you cast a spell, whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon a Burly Rockjaw Trog. So assuming your opponent uses a spell to kill this, you get a 3/5, which is great. But if your opponent just kills it with his minions because he's ahead, 6/6 for 7 mana is not too hard to kill with minions. I think we're just going to take the safer move here and grab the Lothab. Alright, so I could take the Acolyte for some card draw, or I could just take the Ogre. That would be pretty greedy getting this many expensive things all at once. But you know, I'm going to do it. Make sure I have that end game taken care of. Well, I'll take the Zombie Chow there. Ah, crap. I don't want an Assassin, so I'll take an Exorcist, although I'm not a big fan. I'll make sure to try hard to pay attention and to enemy death rattles. Should I take the Mind Control here? If I don't see another one, I'm going to regret passing on this one. But the Geomancer is just going to be solid with Holy Nova and maybe some Holy Smites. I always like to have some spell damage. This guy is just going to suck if I never get any Shadow Word Pains. I think that it's sort of like a bad heal, too, if you don't have the combo. We'll take the Mind Control here. Alright, I don't want the second Silence, I've already got 1. So I'll take the Panther there. Shadow Madness, a card that people swear by all the time. I'm going to take the Pyromancer. I think it's useful for Priests as extra board removal. Priests have some nice energy with this because they can, of course, heal it. Shadow Madness is pretty speculative. Alright, you know, do I have any synergy with this besides the Pyromancer? No, not yet. Cobra's decent, but I'm going to take the Shadow Boxer, just to have a nice 2-drop, and it is pretty good. As the game goes along. Mech Warper. Well, no mechs yet, except for the Shadow Boxer. Cultist, I mean, he's solid, of course. A 3/4 for 3. But I'm actually going to take Mech Warper. I just find a 3/4 for 3 isn't that amazing in a lot of cases, because I don't like to spike 3 mana. Alright, Thoughtsteal is the winner there for some card draw. Holy Fire for some burn and some healing. There's the Mind Control. Okay, now here, Spider Tank is like a Dark Cultist that loses the ability, which often doesn't matter, but gains the mech thing, which could be nice for Mech Warper, potentially. Or I could take another Mech Warper. Let's take the Spider Tank. I think a second Mind Control would be a mistake there. Alright, one commenter asked me why I hate the Silverhand Knight. I just think he's not as good as other 5-drops. Here, however, it's either the Elven Archer or the Healer. The Healer's great, though. I'll take the Healer for the healing. Okay, the Murloc Raider sucks. I don't want this. Got a lot of 5s here, which worries me a bit for my curve, so I'll take Mind Vision just to keep things low. Cult Master. Easy one there. Cabal Shadow Priest I will take, because I think it's the best arena card in the game. These are mediocre 2-drops, so I'll take Power Word Shield to protect my Northshire Cleric. Don't like this guy, but I think he's probably better than the Flying Machine, although the Flying Machine can be good. I've got more 3s than 2s right now, so let's just equalize that a bit. Shrinkmeister, man, I still haven't seen Shadow Word Pain, but I do have Cabal Shadow Priest, so I think that swings it now in its favor. That was a mediocre pack. Chillwind Yeti fits the curve. I could use some more 4-drops still. God, Mad Bomber. Oh my god. Alright, we'll take him. We'll take Monty Berserker. Balance Chosen! Yes! Oh, that card is so broken, it's hilarious. Shrinkmeister, I'm kind of getting overloaded on 2s right now. This thing is an okay 4-drop. I'm not a big fan because the 2-1 dies to, you know, a lot of classes' hero abilities. Do I take another Shrinkmeister and risk having too much cheap crap that doesn't matter, but increasing my chances of pulling a combo with the Priest? Or do I take a mediocre 4-drop? We'll take the mediocre 4, but I don't know. It was a tough call. Alright, well, Goblin Sapper it is, although that is not my favorite card. It has randomly won me some games, but it's most of the time just a 2-4 for 3, which is okay, but given that a 3-4 for 3 isn't always that exciting, a 2-4 for 3 is certainly not something to write home about. Okay, well, I think this deck is actually pretty bad. I mean, we have a Holy Nova and a Mind Control, and a Northshire Cleric, those are good, but no Shadow Words means this deck's going to have a devil of a time removing anything. Velen's Chosen, at least we saw that, but man, it's bad. Bad times here. Bad times at Ridgemont High is what's going on. Alright, well, we got our Mad Bomber. Could have been a Ghoul, a 1-3 taunt that deals the damage to all minions when it dies. Lil Exorcist going to pay real careful attention to you. Make sure I don't kill my opponent's death rattles before I play that thing. Man, if this deck goes to 6, I'm going to be shocked. Truly shocked. Alright, I'm not going to coin into a Mad Bomber because then I have nothing to do next turn. Alright, Zombie Chow is very unlikely to die to a Mad Bomber. Shrinkmeister will just die to a Zombie Chow and do nothing for me. Did I say Mad Bomber's unlikely to die? I meant Mad Bomber's not likely to kill a Zombie Chow. Or did I say Zombie Chow is not likely to die to a Mad Bomber? That's probably what I said. Hang on a minute, I got this thing. Wait, oh my god, yes, I have that thing. Okay, well, let's just coin out and do that. So I got a 3-4 with Taunt for 3 mana. Rogue could kill it with a 1-drop and Eviscerate, or like an Abusive Sergeant. Oh, that would be annoying, but this is still somewhat likely to kill the Zombie Chow and live to tell about it, so I think it was worth using the coin. Rogues have a decent ability to respond to Velen's Chosen between Sap and Assassinate. If she doesn't attack this, I will use the Shrinkmeister as basically a heal 2 on Lil Exorcist here. Kind of preemptive healing. She probably doesn't want to sap this actually, because then I'll just replay it and have the same thing. One question, of course, is whether I go all in on this thing and put Velen's Chosen on it. Probably not. I think that would be a little bit aggressive. Alright, Deadly Poison plus Zombie Chow. We'll let her kill the Exorcist. She's thinking about hitting it with her face. She just does nothing. Okay. So we got a couple different options here. The Sapper will briefly be a 6-4, but of course she'll have exactly 6 cards. She just has to play one. This thing drops back down. So that would be using most of my mana if I did this. The Shrinkmeister would use less of my mana, so it's a less efficient play. But the advantage is that it will keep this thing 2 hit points healthier. Ah, boy. What's the risk of this being at 2 health? I mean, I don't know. What do I do on turn 4? Turn 4 is awkward. I could play Spellbreaker, but I might not have a target. Or I could play this in Mad Bomber, but then I'm having mostly my own minions out. I could play Valen's Chosen, but I don't want to go in on Valen's Chosen. Alright, we'll go for the Shrinkmeister. And just hope that on turn 4 she'll give me something that's worth silencing. Sapper is not likely to ever be big here, because she can play at least 1 card per turn. Alright, she does that. Maybe Deadly Poison next? No, an Eviscerate. Alright, so that actually lets her kill off everything. Christ, man, these Goblin Auto-Barbers, I've tried playing with them several times, and they always were kind of mediocre, but for my opponents, they've been really good. Alright, well, I'm going to go for it with the Mad Bomber here. Below 50% odds of killing that Auto-Barber. Yeah. And I guess we'll play that thing. Crap. Couldn't quite connect. So now she can kill off the Mad Bomber with her weapon, and then this thing kills that. So I'm actually losing, even though I had an amazing start. That Goblin Auto-Barber Eviscerate move was incredibly strong. Ah, crap. Could have maybe avoided things with Valen's Chosen, I'm not sure. Let's see, would have been at 8 health, so she could have dealt... Oh no, 6 health after killing off the Zombie Chow. So she would have still killed it. Yeah, she would have still killed the little Exorcist. Man, why did this thing, in several arena runs, go so badly for me? Like, it was just never great. I don't know. But it's been really great for my opponent several times. So she can kill this, kill that, with no mana spent, and then do whatever she wants. I'm a priest, so her taking damage isn't a big deal. I'm not going to burn her out with this deck. Okay, well... that is interesting, and that should have played that first. Okay, so we're hanging on in there. Lothab actually is a really good drop here. Stops her from playing spells. It has 5 health, so it survives against this stuff. Mainly if she has like a Nelvin Archer or something to berserk this, and she can kill Lothab, she's in really great shape, but that's a bit of a particular thing. Hopefully that's not going to be happening here. I guess a Dark Iron Dwarf would be good, then she can trade both these in for it and have a 4/4 left over. I don't want to play Valen's Chosen on anything preemptively, because she can just assassinate it at this point. I'd like to have a minion on the board and then put Valen's Chosen on it, so at least it can get some value. Pretty glad I took Lothab and not that Trogzor, the Earthinator guy. Because he's 7 mana, and I would have had to wait to play him, and I kind of needed a good play there since this hand is all sort of mediocre. Lord of the Arena does trade with Lothab. So I got, as I often do, a couple of different options here. I could put Valen's Chosen on Lothab. It would then survive with 3 health. Or I could silence the Lord of the Arena, kill the Berserker. Then the Lord of the Arena, of course, was still there as a 6/5, and then it'll just kill Spellbreaker with 1 health remaining. Seems a bit bad. Okay. If I trade, I can play the Yeti and this. If I put Valen's Chosen on, I can not play the Yeti, but I can play the Sapper. Alright, we'll do this, I guess. It's not great, but sometimes you can't do great things. I guess I could have healed this, but that would have been going a little bit all in on her not having an Assassinate. This is a bad situation. She has a lot of cards. This deck doesn't have any card draw either. I never saw any card draw in my... Oh, Thoughtsteal. It has Thoughtsteal, but that's it. So other than Thoughtsteal, it has no card draw because I never saw any. Doesn't have any Shadow Words because I never saw any. Glad at least I got Mind Control. That would have been a bad thing to not have. I saw 2 of those, took 1. Yeah, this is not a good deck. I just haven't had good drafts in the last couple of runs, unfortunately. Well, the Warrior draft, I think I actually misdrafted. This one, I think, was just a bad draft. There's nothing I could do, I think, to make this deck be particularly great. So, let's see. I mean, I had a chance. I had a bit of a window. The game started out pretty well, but it turned nasty quickly. Alright, she's going to throw that stuff in. 4/6, very nicely. Kills a 2/4. And just makes a dagger. Cool beans. Alright, well, always draw cards first. Cold Blood. Huh. Yes, I will use that. And kill this thing. And play a Yeti. So I know she has Cold Blood. I should keep that in mind. She has Cold Blood and 4 cards. I have 3 cards. I did just 2 for 1 against the Spectral Knight, so that wasn't great by any means. Magical Mercenary is definitely scary. She keeps flicking cards like she's got a heroin addiction. Just play something or pass the turn. No, she passes the turn. So this is a real problem. I don't want to silence this, obviously. But I think what I'm actually going to do is silence my Zombie Chow to stop her from getting health. Throw a bunch of minions out onto the table and hit her in the face. I don't know that trying to race is necessarily a great strategy, but it's just the only one I have available to me right now. I just have to hope that I top deck Mind Control in time. Maybe I could burn her out with Holy Fire and Holy Nova if I get them back to back. I don't have any reach in this deck. I never saw any charge creatures. Man, there's a lot this draft just never saw. She can play up to a 6-mana minion here, which is kind of scary because 6-mana minions can be pretty good. She had a Lord of the Arena, so that there's at least some non-optimal cards in her deck. So that's a pretty weak card. Alright, she gets a Spiteful Smith, which is a very big body. Man, people like this person makes me wish that there was a way to turn off, like, the signals. That flicking drives me nuts. Okay, do I play the Kodo here? Crap, this could have been... No, this could have been a Knife Juggler. Man, not that great. Alright, let's see. Is it worth killing this Ventricle Mercenary? I think if I don't kill it, it's going to do what? Oh, fuck. She's going to kill my Spellbreaker with the Smith, get enraged, and kill off a creature. That's going to be ugly. Well, I could basically clear out my board killing her stuff. Then it's a Stampeding Kodo versus her hand, which is clearly not good. So, I'm not even sure I want to do this right here. I don't know what the point of that is. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw everything at her face, play the Kodo. We're just going an all-in strategy right now. So I've got Holy Fire, which... will deal 5 damage. With her 2 creatures and this weapon, she can clear my board. Although, if she uses the weapon, she'll take 2 damage for doing that. The Kodo will die to the Ventricle Mercenary. This will kill off Spellbreaker. The Dagger could kill off either of these 2 things. And it's just a question of how much removal she has. She has a decent amount of removal. I'm in a lot of trouble. What else do I have here besides Holy Nova and Holy Fire? Nothing. I can only have Mind Control to steal something. But that's not really going to do any damage unless she plays a charge creature. I could also get a Cabal Shadow Priest and steal something if I'm lucky. But she's got 10 mana, so she probably wouldn't be playing 2 power things. And I don't have the Cabal Priest anyway. Yeah, I'm headed headlong into a loss here. For sure. This deck does not excel at burn. And it all came down to that Auto Barber, letting her kill my Mad Bomber. That was so strong. It pretty much won her the game. I don't think Auto Barber's ever won me any games. Oh, man. Alright, so she's going flick, flick, flick. She does take the 2 damage. That doesn't do anything. She needs removal for this, or a taunt, or to give these things taunt. Alright, she passes the turn. Oh my god, and I do get the Cabal Priest. So let's steal this, and I have to think very carefully now. I can kill off the Spiteful Smith, or I can hit her in the face. I'm actually going to kill this off right now, and the reason is I have a 4/5 that she's got to answer, and she couldn't even kill a 2/3 last turn. So she might not have removal, honestly, and if she doesn't, then I can hit her in the face, which is really solid because it's half her health. Plus, this thing could give me at least a card, unless she has silence for it. So I might be able to win fairly. She had no taunt, she had no removal last turn. I might actually be able to win fair and square. Alright, the Panda doesn't do anything. Oh boy, this is tense. The Pyromancer could clear my board, but it would give me an extra card off of the Acolyte unless she spends a removal spell on the Acolyte. Deadly Poison gives me a card for the Acolyte, which is fine by me. That's a pretty useless card, but at least it gets me to the good stuff. She's actually going to give me another card for the Acolyte. Okay. Holy Nova was currently set to win me the... Nope, not quite win me the game. It's going to take her down to 1 health. And kill off both of these creatures. Oh my god. Well, pretty easy move here, I think. We're going to Holy Nova to clear her board. Play this. Just as an overpriced Chillwind Yeti. The heal is totally wasted. Now I'm threatening lethal. She had nothing the past couple of turns and she concedes. Oh my god, I can't believe I won that game. That was ridiculous. Well, I mean, I won it on the back of an epic card, which is lucky that I saw an epic at all. You're not guaranteed to see an epic in every draft. But on the other hand, it's unlucky how much was not present in my draft. No Holy Smites or Shadow Word Pains or Shadow Word Deaths. I think this is pretty grim for a priest to be missing that stuff. But anyway, that Cabal Priest did make up for it. I have not reevaluated since the Goblins versus Gnomes expansion my claim that Cabal Shadow Priest is the single best arena card in Hearthstone, and that includes legendaries, by the way. That includes all class-specific cards and legendaries. I think there's nothing I would rather have in a deck. Like if it's just like pack one, pick one, you can have whatever you want. It's Cabal Shadow Priest for me. I don't think there's anything better. But maybe it was Goblins versus Gnomes. There's something I'm overlooking. There's certainly some really great cards out there now. Alright, well, she's there. It's a little early, but she's here. We got a 2-drop. This ability is not going to get used at all. It's just there to look pretty. She has a 1-drop, which is really unfortunate. In fact, I'm actually going to play Shadow... Wait a minute. Hold on. So if I play Shadow Boxer, she's just going to dagger up, trade this in, and kill it. Then I play the Spider Tank. Okay, I'm okay with that. I was thinking maybe I could wait for the Shadow Boxer to be useful later, but the thing is, good option now is better than the best option later. This is good right now because it forces her to use the dagger to kill it off, whereas the Pyromancer would have died for free and then she could have played something else. I think it was important to do this. Okay, so she takes a couple of damage, which doesn't really matter because I'm a priest. She gets to kill it because of her excellent 1-drop being there. Let's get the Spider Tank on here. And actually, turn 4, playing 2/2s on turn 4 is not my favorite thing in the world, but it could be okay if this tank holds the fort. She still has her coin, though, which is annoying. Is she going to use it? No, she's going to play a 4/4. Ouch. Okay, well, I have to hope this thing doesn't hit the right enemy. Felon's chosen. Never mind, I have to hope for nothing. I just have to play this overpowered card and get in the lead. So now, combo to Eviscerate would basically catch her back up. Because I spent 2 cards to kill 1, but they're both still here. She's going to assassinate that. I'm okay with her assassinating it. Totally okay. 100% okay with that. No, it's an Abomination. Alright, this is a good move because even if I heal this, it's still going to die after running into the Abomination. Crap. So, let's see here. I could actually Holy Nova, but no. The Holy Nova doesn't quite kill that, and then this thing still dies. Alright, that was a pretty good Abomination there. So do I play this to let this get enraged by the Abomination, or would I rather have a 2/3 or a 5/1? Normally I'd say a 2/3, but the 5/1 is nice. It stops her maybe from playing a big drop. Alright, let's take a risk. We'll do this. Do that. That was a rare case where Abomination was actually helpful. Normally you put your weakest creature in the middle against Betrayal, but here Betrayal can kill anything, so I want her to leave this alive if she does. Betrayal on it. Alright, let's see what she's got. Silverhand Knight, not the worst thing. Totally justifies my play here because what I get to do now is steal the 2/2, kill the 4/4, hit her in yonder face, and we're in the lead. Now I might say, Boris, why'd you do that? I mean, a 2/2 is pretty lame. You could have waited for something better. Good option now is better than the best option later. That was a really good time to do it. Alright, so she's got 6 cards. Goblin Sapper's never going to be great. I didn't actually play with Goblin Sapper before while having a Cold Light Oracle. Now, I don't recommend that in the arena. It's really not a good strategy, but it was actually probably better than usual there. Okay, so this isn't too big of a deal. Northshire Cleric arrives at a very nice time. Hang on a minute. We could do some weird stuff here, can't we? No, we can't. Yeah, we can't. Alright, so we're gonna just do that. Heal it, get a card. I should have put the Northshire Cleric in the middle, actually, against Betrayals. Whoops. Well, actually, I don't want to play this, because this is more expensive, so let's do that. Keep hitting her face. Now, there's a couple things that could go wrong here. Deadly Poison Blade Flurry would mostly clear my board, heal her up for 5, and I'd be out of a gig. But let's see what happens before we make any judgments. Micro Machine, okay, no big deal. And Anu's also no big... Oh, she doesn't have anything good. She just has nothing. Alright. So let's... Oh, man. Let's think about this. I could pop the Divine Shield, kill this, and Holy Nova, which would draw me 2... Nope, I can actually pop Divine Shield, run in the Northshire Cleric, and then finish this off with a 2-3. And then Holy Nova, that would draw me 3 cards, but the Pyromancer would trigger after the Holy Nova, so everything would drop back down to health. But 3 cards? I mean, that's a good option. I could also go for Mad Bomber, as long as it doesn't hit this twice or this twice. The Holy Nova would then give me an extra card off of that. You know what? I'm just going to take 3 cards. Honestly, that's... Can I win? 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12? No, I don't win. So we'll do this. This. Oops, wrong thing. This. Can I get an extra? I can actually get an extra card if I do this first. So yeah, I'm gonna get a card there. Little Exorcist, no Death Rattles, okay. Do that to clear her board, get some extra cards there. I need to actually point this stuff at her face. And yeah, the Pyromancer here is a liability rather than a benefit, but I'm okay with this, because even if she clears my board right now, she's at 9 health to my 29, I've got a fistful of cards. I should be in great shape. Dread Corsair, okay. So I might actually have a situation of too much of a good thing with this Darkscale Healer. That would give me 5 cards, which would actually be, like, too much. But anyway, it doesn't matter, she conceded. Alright, that was 2 wins, both against rogues. First rogue might have been able to have me if she'd had stronger cards to follow up her good start. I had to do some wacky things like Mind Vision, Cold Blood, and 2-for-1 with the Cold Blood to kill her Spectral Knight. If I had not gotten her Cold Blood there, I might have lost. Oh, and then the other rogue I don't think really put much of a fight up at all. Northshire Cleric was a superstar. And Cabal Shadow Priest was really great too. And I'm going to give myself some props. I decided to play an Amani Berserker in the path of an Abomination so that it would get enraged and could take down a big creature she'd play. And I figured that potential to kill a big creature was worth the risk of having her be able to finish it off, and it was totally right. So hooray. Rubok. I don't know what that means, but I do know that everything here has to get mulliganed. So now we're getting hopefully some cheaper stuff. Maybe a Northshire Cleric would be nice. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, okay, well we got some opening plays at least, so that's good. What do you lead with? Shadow Boxer or Monty Berserker? Wait, well, I guess it depends on which one you care less about losing to that thing. I guess the Shadow Boxer is probably something I'd want to keep later on. So, we'll drop the Berserker out here as a welcoming party for this Flame Imp. Hopefully there's no Dark Bombs here. There's a Dark Bomb. God damn it. Well, that sucks. So the Flame Imp got back its damage. Now we're going to have to throw the Shadow Boxer down in front of it. A little Exorcist. Okay, no Death Rattle. Alright. Gotta keep an eye like a freaking hawk on those Death Rattle minions. Make sure I don't miss any opportunities. So he didn't go up any cards, but he is just, you know, holding the fort here. Oh, he's sneaking extra damage through. That's ballsy. Alright, I could heal myself and throw a damage out, though. I don't think it really matters. I could Mind Vision, but that doesn't seem to make a difference. This is just a 2-3 that would trade with one of these. Ugh, nothing is good here. Alright, what I'm going to do is play the Panther. And I'm not going to do any shenanigans. He got his 3 extra damage. Good for him. So here, next turn I can play Mind Vision on Little Exorcist if he plays Death Rattle minions. If he doesn't play a Death Rattle, oh, that's a Death Rattle. Okay, perfect. So let's see here. We need to Mind Vision and play this unless I get something better. Power Word Shield. Actually, that would allow this to kill that and live. That's worth it. So we're going to do this thing. Get a card. Oh, Spellbreaker to silence, that would have been good. Actually, I could have, I guess, put it on this so it would have survived against the Shredder. But this way I get to kill the Flame, so whatever, it's all good. So let's do that. Pass the turn. Okay, so the Shredder kills this and lives. The Panther then kills the 2-drop or whatever he plays next, depending on the circumstances. Let's see what he gets. Flame Tongue Totem, not really the best drop, unless he can get a taunt, in which case it's an amazing drop. Of course, if he gets a taunt, I could silence it and kill the Flame Tongue. Alright, he's got that. Now here's an interesting thing, because I actually don't mind trading a Panther for a Booty Bay Bodyguard, honestly. I really don't mind that at all. So I could just trade, play the Spellbreaker, silence that, or just play this, and then be threatening to kill it. Or I could silence this thing, and then kill the Flame Tongue. I get my card right away, then he can use that to kill Spellbreaker and have a 4-1. So would I rather have a 4-1 and this in hand and be able to Mind Vision, or would I rather have the Flame Tongue on the board naked with a 4-5? Alright, let's Mind Vision. That's a good card. Okay, that's what he's playing next turn. Haha. Okay, well in that case I am going to just do this. And kill the Flame Tongue over here. So he plays the Argent Commander. Kills. I play this. And then I clear out his board and I get to kill all this stuff. Okay, this is good. Although he's probably going to hit me in the face. I bet that's what he's going to do. He likes to go for the face, this guy does. No, he decides to start playing cautiously. Well, I think he could have gotten another 4 damage. He could have gotten away with 4 damage there. I don't know why he didn't. I could actually play this thing and heal, but let's not do anything crazy. Let's just kill this thing off. So, he's got 4 cards to my 5, but he can life tap rather freely here. I can get an Ogre, which is a bit tough for Warlocks to kill without Siphon Soul. This thing is a very good response to the Ogre, though. And that thing, well, I want a Cabal Shadow Priest. That would let me steal this Tron and then kill his 4-4. Nope, didn't find it. Okay. This thing doesn't seem very good. Alright, we'll do this, this, and that. Now you might say, Boris, why did you play this? It's just going to die to the 4-4. I need to throw some interference out here. I can't just keep this in hand and heal my face. That was a pretty good turn for him, actually. The Annoyatron plus these guys was solid. Summoning Portal is not that great, but of course you can get some expensive stuff out. Nightblade! Who plays Nightblade? Oh my god. Alright, so he's going to kill that. He's going to kill my Mech Warper. The Annoyatron will therefore live. I have to throw my healer against it, which is annoying. Is this a Soulfire here? Oh, it's a Soulfire. Why did he kill that, though? That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. I don't get it. Well, I guess this thing wouldn't have died to Soulfire. He should have just kept it in his hand, though. Boggling decision on his part, I think. Boggle, boggle, boggle. Okay, well, let's just play the Ogre here, kill off Mr. Tron, and think. Do I heal this, or do I heal my face? I'm going to go ahead and heal this thing. I got Holy Fire, which will heal me up a bit, and this extra health is a big deal because he's got a couple of 4-4s. So 8, he needs 7 damage. Could happen if he has this as a Power Overwhelming and he life taps into something else, like another Power Overwhelming. Okay, he goes for the face. Maybe he's killing me off here. We'll see. That's not going to kill me. And what's this other card? Okay. Nope. Alright, Pyromancer is not worth it here. So we're going to do this mainly because it's a heal and I need to heal right now. We're going to kill... Oh, how do I want to distribute the damage? I guess I'd rather have them be at 2 health than at 1 because it's important to not open up to Mortal Coil. So he's had a couple of uninterrupted turns of Summoning Portal. My big hitters are damaged. Fen Creeper will die to the Ooze, though, unless he can find an answer. Or sorry, Fen Creeper will die to the Ogre unless he can find an answer. He's drawing a lot of cards. It's a really good top deck for him. He can play anything up to 4 mana with this Summoning Portal. He doesn't, though. Okay, so let's think very carefully here. I could heal this. It'll survive. Cult Master, kill that. Or Kodo and kill that. Well, I don't need the cards, so I think I'm actually going to go for this. That summoning portal, I mean, that could really cause some problems for me. I don't want to be too cavalier about leaving that thing alive. I'm going to play the Pyromancer. So I got 5 cards to his 3, healthy life total there. Good board. Not vulnerable to Mortal Coil. Twisting Nether, wow. Don't see that every day. So now he has 3 cards to my 4. It's a top deck war, and I've got the first play. So I guess I'd give myself the advantage here. I'm playing out the Cult Master, even though it opens it up to removal, because I need to get this body on the ground. I don't think I can afford to hang on to it. I still have a Mind Control here, which is good. I still have a Cabal Shadow Priest, which is good. And other than that, I think he might actually have the lead here, because he can life tap pretty freely and just be up a lot of cards. Annoyatron's very annoying. The first one was really good for him. This one might be as well. Storm and Champion. Solid. And Lothab, okay. Well, I can kill Mr. Bitey, but I can't kill the Stormwind Champion. Well, I hope I get a good card here. Mind Control wouldn't be the worst thing. Ah, Spider Tank. Okay. You know what? We're just going to... Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and clear off his board, I think. A nice 5/5. Just hoping that Mind Control arrives before it's too late. I still haven't dealt any damage to him. Spider Tank's the only gas I've got left in my tank. Tank. And if he has any more big stuff, I could really be in trouble. This is crappy, so I'm glad to see that. That's crappy, so I'm really glad to see that. He can still life tap, though. He decides not to life tap. I think that might be a mistake. He probably should have life tapped. I'm going to steal this, because a good option now is better than the best option later. I don't really mind pulling in a 2-1. It's not too shabby. Okay, so that really turned things around. Now he needs like a Hellfire, which would clear off most of my stuff. He can still life tap. He should have really life tapped last turn, I'm thinking. Oh, okay, so he's going to get a 6/6. Alright, Mind Control would be really great right about now, because that's the only out I have to this thing, other than, of course, you know, 2-for-1ing, which I don't exactly want to do. The Rubian Egg doesn't do anything. Perfect. Okay. No Mind Control. Okay, well, do I send this in? No, that makes no sense. We're going to send this. And wait, can I have killed him 4, 9, 13? No. And that. Run that in, play this, and this. And heal up my 5/5. God, I'm so glad I took this. That was definitely the right call. And now he's just got this egg. He's being threatened with lethal damage. And, I just hope nothing crazy happens. Okay, that's not a big deal. And this is Power Overwhelming. Power Overwhelming. Well, he's still gonna die, so that's good. Hits me in the face, I guess instead of protest, I don't know. He life taps. Should have done that first. Maybe you would have gotten your other Twisting Nether, you know. He's holding onto that card like he wishes he could play it. Or maybe he just doesn't give a shit. So, well played. Bonk, bonk, and bonk. Well played. So, after saying I would be shocked if this deck made it to 6 wins, I end up going up to 3-0, which is, you know, not exactly that common. I do think this deck isn't the greatest. I think we just got lucky that the opponents didn't throw enough threats down to take advantage of the horrendous lack of removal this deck has. But I gotta say, it's so nice playing a deck that has just minions and a good curve. I can play things every turn. It's great. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Please like and/or subscribe. Take care.